All right, ladies and gentlemen of Speed Gaming, good evening. Hope you have had a great Friday, and welcome to Qualifier number 1 of the 2021 Super Metroid Triple Bingo Tournament. We have a matchup tonight that we will feature on stream between azder and Zeb316. But there are, I think, over 20 people in this race. So we will try to keep you updated as we learn more about what they're up to as well. And I hopefully she can chat at this point. We're still doing some setting up organizer duties. Tracy, are you there?
I am here. Yeah, we just got one more runner to ready up, and yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. We've done dab, double anti-bingo, several times in the past, but this is going to be a little bit different with the triple bingo. Um, yeah, going to be a lot of fun.
So let's talk about triple bingo very quickly. As Tracy mentioned, we've done a few double anti-bingo tournaments in the past. We have had triple bingo be featured in our multi-category tournaments, but not as a solo standalone tournament. Triple bingo is actually fairly simple in terms of the rules. You're going to see a 5x5 bingo card on the screen. It's the same card for every single runner. In each qualifier, it'll be the same way in the tournament. When people race, they'll get the exact same card. And it's their responsibility to complete 3 of the groupings. And by groupings, I mean either a row, a column, or a diagonal. There are 12 total to choose from. However, when you see certain cards, you'll notice that some of them kind of can't work together because one might have a goal that you have to complete that makes another goal impossible. So anyway, your responsibility is to complete 3 of them. Your opponent doesn't choose any for you, so you're on your own. And yeah, it's actually a really unique way to play Super Metroid, and reading the card and routing is a really big part of being successful in this format.
Yeah, and we're going to have a couple of rivals from randomizers. We got azder and Zeb. They have been racing randomizer the last couple of years. Had some really close races. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do in bingo, in triple bingo. I've seen azder play triple bingo. I have not seen Zeb, and so we'll see what they have.
Well, I got good news. You're not going to see Kish do it tonight either.
Nope,
Because,
he's
because
yeah.
he passed me with Zeb.
I'm sorry. He was waiting for him to ready up, and I'm letting them go.
All right. Yeah, as Tracy mentioned, azder and Zeb, 2 of our really great rando runners. I will tell you this, though. I really like bingo categories and bingo races and tournaments because it's kind of this weird in between. It's not really vanilla. It's also not really like rando. It actually, I would argue, a lot of times people when they're watching rando say like routing is important, and I'm not saying that it's not, but I don't think it's done in the same way as a bingo card. I feel like bingo actually features your ability to read the card and route correctly. It has a bigger impact on your result than any other way to play Super Metroid. So
yeah, and in fact, I mean, bingo and randomizer are often kind of thought of in the same area, but they are quite different. But one thing they do have that's similar that I really like about both categories is that because you don't always do the same things, and because you're going to be put in situations you're not normally put in, there's a lot of improvisational skills that the runners need to have. And we are off, so we have Cirrus Station. You might wonder why we do Cirrus Stations here, because you're not going to do any goals. Really, the biggest reason is it's a time for you to look at the card and try and figure out what you're going to do.
Yeah, and just for anyone out there that's never seen something like this or hasn't in a while, trying to read the card while also playing is very difficult to do. It's not only just about reading and understanding what each individual goal is, but it's also about trying to figure out what groupings will work in conjunction with each other best. And I can assure you that these runners will not probably know exactly what they're going to do even by the time they get to the surface. Usually I wouldn't be able to figure it out till the time I got to like bombs or even like green Brinstar. So there's a lot to process here. but at a certain point, you got to make a choice and just go with it. So we will see. Why don't we go through this card a little bit? What we got here, Tracy?
Let's see. Well, we already got they each get a free square for now. A skip wave beam. Of course, they may choose to pick that up. I'm looking at. I see 8+ energy tanks. That's always a tough one because having to pick up that many. Collect plasma and skip space jump, something like that, is another way of saying you have to kill Dragon. Oh, and by the way, you don't get to pick up space jump. Let's see. We got the 60 Brinstar missile goal. That's always a fun one. That's the hardest on our tracker. By the way, shout outs to Link Force, our tracker. I've been calling the trackers the MVPs in the previous randomizer tournaments that I call, but we've decided it's the MVT, most valuable tracker, Link Force and I.
There you
go. But she'll be doing all the tracking for us, and yeah, I mean, and one of the best at bingo, actually probably the best at tracking bingo. So definitely a shout outs to her. We have a finishing tile, a finishing spore spawn room. So if there's also a finishing landing site. So those are two examples of goals you cannot combine. You can only choose one finish in tile for the most part. There's one weird exception, dealing with shine sparks and crystal flashes, but we don't have that here.
Yeah, and some of these, some goals are like easy to do but take a long time. Some are difficult to do but are relatively fast if you are up to it. Collect all 60 Brinstar missiles is a really slow one. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it, but it's just one that in and of itself is kind of brutal. Some of these other ones, though, like it just depends. Some of them kind of fit in naturally with what you're already doing, depending on what else you got to grab. Destroying at least one statue sounds kind of easy, but you kind of have to track a long way to get to G4. And then landing site, if you're going to finish at landing site, you got to run all the way back to the beginning of the game. So there's actually a lot of time that you got to spend literally moving around, not even just collecting things, but moving around because you got to backtrack a lot in bingo.
And of course, counting those missiles, this is the regular ROM, so they don't have the missile counts above their missiles like they might be used to in randomizer. And we have to allow that because we want people to be able to use their regular cartridges and not have to use a ROM of any sorts. So they don't have that benefit. And so sometimes we'll ask the runners to go ahead and farm or go to the ship and refill just to make sure that they've fulfilled a goal. It doesn't change their finish time though. Let's talk a little bit about the difference between triple and double anti. So a lot of you are probably used to double anti, which basically means your opponent chooses a row and then you have to pick a row to go with it. This is triple bingo, so it's all on the runners. They pick 3 rows to choose from. And in some ways, I think that's easier because you get to pick whatever you want. But I think in other ways, that's harder because you get to pick whatever you want rather than going with something that someone's told you to do and having to pick the second row to go with it.
Yeah, I think they're both difficult. Especially, well, the challenge with double anti-bingo is if you get an opponent that really understands not just a difficult row, but a difficult row or grouping to match with something else. Triple bingo, though, adding that third grouping in really can mess up a lot of your routing potential. And so it's hard. It's really, really difficult to figure out what. Let me put it to you this way. I haven't done a ton of triple bingo, but I am pretty sure that every time that I've done it, I am yet to get the actual, like, in theory, perfect 3.
Sure.
It's just really hard to figure that out on the fly. So sometimes you just kind of make your best guesstimate and roll with it.
And we did see Zeb went ahead and picked up the map station for criteria. It is on the card here. All you have to do is go in the room. You don't actually have to pick up. You don't actually have to pick up the actual map. And that may mean that he's planning on doing something with that row or column or diagonal, or it could just be that he sees that square and says, you know what, I can get that super easy, and therefore I'm just going to go ahead and grab it. And of course, we're always going to run into this E-tank. So that's going to put Zeb a little bit behind azder in terms of routing, but he's got that tile that may or may not end up being useful. Maybe it's hard to make that decision so far in advance to grab or not grab that math station. I think a lot of people just will grab it. Other people will just skip it and be like, okay, if it comes up later. Now, this one is criteria or wreck ship, so you can actually just, if you're going to go to the wreck ship eventually, and most runs you do, you just grab the wreck ship one instead.
Yeah, in bingo, I would say especially in triple bingo, you're not going to see too many cards be completed without gravity suit. It can happen. It's just kind of difficult to do an entire 3 groupings without stepping foot in Meridia, and oftentimes doing a suitless situation would be like, kind of worse.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, you're gonna see, I can't guarantee it. I feel like every time I say something is really rare, then it happens.
I know,
But
right?
but yeah, it's definitely not, very likely. Not impossible, but not likely.
You see that Azure decided to pick up that reserve tank. I'm trying to see if there's a reserve tank.
Yeah, I think there's Bryn Reserve on there somewhere.
Yeah, unfortunately, the I can't really read the card on the screen. I have to look at the
I think it's in row 1, column 4.
Row 1, column 4. Yep, there it is. And it looks like they both decided to pick that up, so that makes sense.
I love a good reserve tank. Obviously, they're not getting it for any actual practical use really in this. But I kind of feel like reserve tanks get a bad reputation in Rando, but
they definitely do.
I think they're pretty useful for a lot of different things.
Okay, Azure. Looks like Azure's skipping charge beam. Is there a skip charge beam I'm missing? No, it's skip wave.
Yeah, probably just skipping it. Like, if you really think about it.
Well, if you're going to pick up a ton of missiles somewhere, then you really don't need it.
That, but also, I mean, honestly, outside of Ridley and Mother Brain in a regular run, you don't really need it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Botswoon to some extent, mainly because there's no drops that you can pick up from it. But yeah, I think that's a true statement.
Yeah, most category, like if we're talking about, we're talking about vanilla, not rando. So like where everything is, and you can plan technically in advance to pick up whatever you need.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And most categories in Super Metroid, they really only use the charge beam for the X Factor, and then there's even some categories where you don't even do that. So for Botswoon. So yeah, I'm not surprised. I think that's a good call. Personally, I would still pick it up even if I didn't have to have it, just because there are a lot of strats I'm accustomed to.
Sure.
So the 12-second whatever investment to pick it up, I think is definitely a smart move by Azure. But a lot of times I'm under the assumption that that's probably not going to be the difference between winning and losing. So I'd rather get some of that time back with my strats. But I think it's a good call on his part to skip it.
Yeah, and we do see a little bit of route divergence. Zeb's going to go up and probably just go straight to Fantoon and get that gravity suit. Azure's going to go ahead and going to kill Craig. It looks like he's even going to get this. I'm not sure if we have the energy refill or the missile refill that we're supposed to get, but that is definitely a thing that can be on the card. Let me see if I can find that. Visit all 3 Brinstar energy recharge stations. There we go. Nice quick kill. So he's got one of those 3. 2 others.
There's that various suit.
Yeah, and the thing about this, going down first like this, a lot of times you'll see a square that says either pick just one suit or collect only gravity and not various suit. We don't have that restriction here, so he's free to pick up the various suit if he wants it. Okay, we're going to see a CWJ attempt from Zeb. Okay, we're going to try it again. Use that moonwalk to get into the door to try it from inside the room.
Everyone's favorite room in the game.
That looks good. Let's see if he can finish it up with the second part of this.
Yeah, he's got the setup. Go get him, Zeb. Hey,
All right,
let's
nicely
go.
done. We'll call that first try, even though there was a kind of sort of aborted attempt through the doorway. Always good to see runners get that first try, essentially.
Getting over the moat any way possible is a big win in my book.
Absolutely.
It might be literally the only room in the entire game I still get nervous about in a race.
I mean, I can see why. I mean, it's not an easy room. I don't care how many times you've done it. You know, it's just one of those strats that you can be as good as you want at it, and you're still gonna mess it up sometime. That's why the horizontal bomb jump as a backup exists, right?
That's right. I got to give a quick shout out to Azder real quick, showing off some nice low percent tech, getting a very smooth double bomb jump first try in the pre-cathedral room. That was very nicely done. This isn't rando, so we don't have the modifications to the terrain, so you can't do a wall jump up there or reach that ledge without high jump boots. So getting that double bomb jump in was great. Nice opening by Zeb. He handled, that's actually right slow is the worst opening pattern. It's the most awkward position, most likely to get flame lamed, and he did a great job of managing that. Nice second round mid. He's going to need to shoot. Yeah, I was going to say he's going to need to shoot that flame to be able to 2-round it there, but I don't blame him for opting to not do that. He needs to be careful there. If he gets hit one more time, it's GG. All right, grab that energy. There you go. All right, he should be fine now. I gotta say, his
nicely done.
Yeah, that was good. The way he's shooting some of those flame patterns from an angle can be a bit tricky. I'm glad to see him get by there.
Yeah, Azure meanwhile picked up that speed booster. So that means he's not going to be getting wave beam, so he'll be able to keep that tile. I assume he's picked up speed booster. If he skips the wave beam, he gets that other tile with the only one of wave or speed. So I'm guessing that's what his idea coming down here was for.
I wonder if Zeb is going to get both of these super packs. I guess not. Usually, if you're going to get both sides, you would get the one on the right.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'm not really studying the card like hyper closely, so I don't know like what all is on the table.
There is a 25 plus super missiles. Let's see if he goes for the other one. Oops,
yeah,
no, he's skipping it.
Looks like super missiles are either not on his menu or he's planning to get like I think the 15 super Meridia tile is on there. So technically he would not need that even if he wanted to get 25 supers.
No, there's other ones he could route in pretty easily in that case. Looks like Azure was picking up that E-tank and just leaving.
Not getting the high jump boots. Is skip high jump boots one of the tiles?
Let me see. I gotta believe it is. I don't collect only one of ice or high jump, so he's gonna pick up ice beam. It looks like.
Interesting choice.
I know you love your high jump boots.
No, I mean, you know, I love them. I think they're a fantastic item. Ironically, as we've pointed out many times, my favorite category to start picking them up. I actually like the way Samus moves without them. I'm just kind of curious. Like typically the high jump boots, even especially with speed booster, are gonna drastically improve your speed through a lot of rooms. Yep. So I'm kind of curious like what all Asher's gonna do with this. Actually, part of this might be that, well, I don't know. I'm not going to guesstimate. We'll just see what he does.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Zeb looks like he's heading straight for that gravity suit. Didn't manage to take only 2 hits. Has enough health to take 1 more. This is kind of that last scary room in a new route situation where those spikes will do 60 damage to you without a suit. So ideally, you just want to get hit by those spikes twice. But he had enough health, he could have gotten hit 1 more time, but thankfully he didn't, and he's got 79 coming out of here instead of the 19 he would.
And here comes that gravity suit. Zeb about to look pretty in purple.
Yep. Okay, and it looks like he maybe. I wonder if he's going for that first column. Of that fourth column. We've already got a couple things there. We'll see if he does just the one of high jump or ice beam. And he already did that map station. As you're skipping right by X-ray, there is a tile I saw that was the X-ray skid X-ray without grapple, which is a big pain. Can be done with his current loadout. Could just do. I mean, you could do it with ice beam, but you could just do deboost. But definitely looks like it's not something he's planning on doing here.
And Asher's gonna grab his first powerbomb pack. We got a little bit of a high five, sort of. They were actually in the same room for a moment, but with different loadouts and going different directions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the nice thing for Zeb is he can just go ahead and skip killing crate at all. That gravity, this is not randomizer, as you said, so another thing is the gravity suit will give full heat protection, just like you're used to in the vanilla game. So no reason for him to ever go to Kraid. Also a reminder, since this is bingo, we are not going to ever see Mother Brain, so definitely don't need that gravity suit. Oh, Zeb is going to go for the early X-ray strat. Didn't quite get the deboost right, so he's going to go ahead and reset the room, it looks like.
I wonder if Astra's going to do it now or later, but I assume he's probably going to pick up that power bomb, the criteria power bomb. Looks like he's going to go ahead and head over to the wreck ship. So if he's going to pick that up, he'll do it on his way out. Or at least I assume. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want that middle tile, but I'm gonna guess that he's going to grab it.
Yeah, I mean, for him, with the speed booster, it's a pretty easy one to pick up anytime he wants. You can pick it up with just bombs as well, but that's really slow. So, yeah, I could definitely see him picking that up after. And Azur's going to have a much safer Fantoon fight, because not only does he have 3 E-Tanks max, he's also got that Varia suit, so it should be a pretty safe fight for him.
You got that lonely spot up there at the top of the screen on Zeb's screen. Every time you get X-ray, but you don't have grapple, you just got that little.
I know, it's really weird
spot right there.
Also, another thing, the nice with the regular gravity suit, get full protection from the spikes as well. So, making this a lot safer than it would be in a rangizer situation.
Yeah, gravity suit vanilla is like crazy OP.
Overpower, yeah.
Crazy OP.
Like, there's a reason in randomizer, if we hadn't changed the gravity suit, then it's like, why would you ever pick up Varia? Yeah, that's true. In his Fantoon fight,
he's also getting a first round slow, but a slightly easier slow to deal with. It looked like he got about 4 in on his first Doppler, so I don't think he's going to be able to pull off a 2-round here. He's looking like he also got a left slow on the second round. Hopefully Fantoon will be a little more generous on the 3rd round here. But the good news is he doesn't really have to pull off any kind of crazy Doppler to finish the fight. Hey, he's got triple slow. That's a bummer. Unless he gets to like 1% or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Fantoon issue, of course. And Fantoon's down. Nice. Okay, Zeb looks like he's gonna go pick up an ice beam. So I think the difference between... So Azure went ahead and killed Cray first. I think it was so he could get that energy tile, that energy refill station tile. Zeb is probably going to go for something else and not going to go for a rower column with that tile. So doesn't need to go into that area, and thus decided to do the wreck ship first. Wreck ship first is pretty powerful in these. It's not the end-all be-all. It won't always get you a win, but being able to do that wreck ship first is definitely an advantage. Because that just gives you so many more options, I think.
It does. I'm a little surprised. Not that they're making a mistake in terms of their choices, but I think there's 2 tiles on this card that are wreck ship map station, which is literally like you just walk in the room, and I don't think either person did it. So
yeah, well, Zeb did the criteria map station. this for azder doing the wreck ship map station would have given him 2 tiles for free. So a little more surprised that he didn't do that. But maybe they're just not interested in those particular squares.
Yeah, I'm kind of maybe Zeb just didn't realize how much faster the wreck ship one would be instead of the criteria one. It's a good bit faster.
Yeah, it really is, because you can do it before you even kill Phantoon. And I think that is the biggest reason why the map stations are such as they are, where you don't actually have to pick up the map, because if you go into the map station of the wreck ship before Phantoon is dead, you literally can't actually pick up the map station. But in bingo, since we only make you go into the room, you can do it without killing Phantoon.
I can promise you, unless he forgets, when we get to the interview at the end, if we ask them what they thought was their best or their worst thing that happened in this run, I can tell you Asher's not going to be happy with that attic. He got trolled. Yeah. Like sometimes if you get the wrong rhythm in the room, that little spark can really troll you and stop you from getting your short charge over and over again. And then on top of that, after that, the whole room was wonky and he had to backtrack to get one of the atoms. Yeah. That's one of those rooms that's just like once something goes wrong, it's like hard to get it back on track.
Okay, Zeb without a speed booster is going to do some gravity jumps to get through this. Also without high jump, so so they're a little tighter than they might otherwise be.
So, ooh, Zeb missed the gravity jump.
Yeah.
Come on, kids, practice your Meridian gravity jumps without high jump boots, y'all. Come on, easy peasy, low ice stuff. Let's go.
And the gravity jump is one of my favorite strats in general. It's just kind of a neat way of moving around.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the key to the gravity jump though is the later that you jump out of the pause, the higher you're gonna get. So yeah, like if you jump really late, it'll almost look like you didn't jump, and then you just get the maximum height, which is really neat when that happens.
Zeb heading over he already hit the beach. Now he's heading over to the watering hole.
Yeah, I think he wants those supers. And azder looks like he is going to go for that criteria power bomb.
Do you know what the name of I say this every time. I call them the Scouts because they look like the Scouts from Chrono Trigger. What is their actual name? Those little flying one-eyed creatures.
Are those the menus? I'm not sure.
I'm calling them Scouts. But did y'all notice that he powerbombed them? Those things are a pain.
Those things are horrible. Yeah. And if you ever end up here without a suit, I will just powerbomb because they do a ton of damage. They are not fun.
Nope. And as predicted, azder is getting that criteria powerbomb.
Yep. I feel like he may be going for that bottom left, top right diagonal. He still would have to pick up X-ray scope and kill both. Well, but he hasn't killed Croc, so maybe not. I'm not sure. Because you would think that you would want to kill Croc when you were down in Norfair the first time, but he may have other ideas.
Those things are literally called menus. All right, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to say it. There's some really weird names.
There are.
Metroid, but I think that might be the dumbest one. I'm calling.
I thought they were. I actually thought it was an MEMU, and then I was looking through a list of enemies earlier today, and it had an N in it. So either there's a typo in the wiki, or it really is MENU. So
that's a terrible name. All right, let's go. Oh, Zeb almost got the one round, Botwin. Luckily, he got the easy to finish up little pop out there.
Very nice. So it feels like he might be going for column 4. 6+ energy tank shouldn't be too hard to get. Spring ball without grapple beam. He's got ice beam to do an ice clip, and even if he didn't have ice beam, he knows how to do the crystal flash clip there. I don't think he's got enough ammo for that. So that wouldn't really be an option.
Oh, looks like Zeb's gonna bust out some rando tech to get this last super pack. Nice.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody do the X-ray scope like that. Sometimes you can use it to help you stand up here, but he used it, yeah, very nicely done. Looks like he was using it to let the little yard guys, the little snails, go slower so he can be a little more precise on the positioning. So I like that. I've never seen that before. It was a good idea. Azder went and picked up the criteria map station. And Azder has a tendency, he likes to actually pick up the map, so maybe that's why he went for that one. But he could have gotten, like you said, he could have gotten 2 squares if he just done the wreck ship one. And even getting it after Fantoon was dead would have been, I think, still quicker than this little detour that he took.
I'm just going to say it, yard clip sounds a lot cooler than snail clip. Yard clip sounds like something that fathers do every weekend. I don't know.
Another powerbomb pack for Zeb. Is that powerbomb on here somewhere? Looks like we're gonna get a statue. So destroy 1 statue and get to see it right here. Basically means you killed a boss, and then you went into this room and let the statue get destroyed. Unfortunately, it's gonna take a little bit longer for the door to open up because he's killed 2 bosses before doing this.
Yes, Azder has shattered the earth and wind crystals, but right now does not have the other 2, so he cannot go and fight chaos in the, I don't even remember what you call it in the final dungeon. All right, well, we got even more cool tech coming from Zeb here. He might use that X-ray scope again. From what I understand, I'm not a pro with the X-ray scope. From what I understand, you can use it to help you clip through this as well.
Yes, you can. I've personally never gotten it to work, but you know, it does give you more pixels to work with in freezing the little puyos here. Let's see. We are headed towards the end.
Look at there.
Nicely done. That's just picking up. Oh, he may be going for the 6 E-tanks, or maybe even the 8 E-tanks. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe both.
There's a 6, 7, and an 8.
Yeah, he went ahead and turned around. You could tell by his wall jump check that he wasn't going to go grab those supers. And Zeb did end up doing what we predicted earlier, where he skipped that wreck ship super because he didn't need it because he was getting all 15 of the Meridian ones. So he got the 25 tile. And now he's getting his spring ball. And I believe, I'm going to have to go back and look. I'm sorry, I have it on a different tab. But I think with this one, he's getting a tile because he's not allowed to pick up grapple or something like that.
Yeah, it's collect spring ball and skip grapple beam. So your choices for doing that, as far as I know, there are only 2 choices beyond, obviously, grapple is the intended way, but the ice clip or the doing the ice clip or doing a crystal flash clip. Both of which...
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Both of which he is capable of doing.
Yeah, unfortunately, Azder's run is not going to count. He did not actually free the Decora. He's got to... the Decora has to be on not only stuck in the blocks, but literally moving around on top for the run.
Oh, that's a new one on me. No, in all seriousness, yeah, it looks like he's visited both the critters and is picking up this energy tank, so that'll give him 6. I also assume he visited the energy recharge station, so that gives him all 3 energy recharge stations.
Somebody, do you remember growing up with Captain Crunch, the cereal, and occasionally it had crunch berries, and then they would do the whoops all crunch berries boxes? Somebody needs to make a ROM hack that's like whoops all sand physics.
There you go.
That would be the real fun right there.
Sand physics is the worst, and you know, doing it without high jump boots is just, you just don't want to. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's 70 tanks.
So yeah, Azder getting those tanks. Zeb, luckily getting through a good portion of Meridia. I guess he's going this way. Sorry, I'm kind of thinking on the fly. I guess he's not going to exit. Maybe he's going to do something else in Meridia. Otherwise, I don't see any reason to go back this way.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out.
Maybe he's going to Mama Turtle, or he's going to a sand pit or something. Honestly, I haven't. It's kind of hard to watch super close on both of them and know like which tiles they're going for. So I'm kind of just responding to what I see. But yeah, it looks
pretty
like
much.
Down here. Cool part is I think if he's going to grab this tank, he's going to get to display some sweet spring ball tech. Oh well, I guess he doesn't have to. Never mind. He can bomb jump. He technically could spring ball this though.
Yeah, this is spring ballable. I do believe if without high jump, you have to do it from the wall. But Whereas with high jump, you could actually spring ball jump straight up and get it that way. I do wonder. I'm going to trust that Azure doesn't have 30 missiles yet, because there is also that 3 energy tank plus 30 missile square.
And Ash is going to dip his toes in Meridia here.
And he'll have a little bit easier time because he does have that speed booster. And just I mean, in some ways it makes movement harder because, of course, the old speed booster, no high jump. But in a lot of ways, it'll also make things easier just because, he won't have to do those gravity jumps that Zeb was doing. So this will be E-Tank number 8.
Correct. So he's actually going to get back a lot of that time that he invested into going to Kraid first and then, Norfair. I feel like I made a mistake earlier, y'all. I apologize. We have witnessed Super Metroid history tonight. We didn't even report on it. Woody has already finished in first place with an official time of 3 minutes and 37 seconds. And that's the fastest triple bingo. I don't know how he managed to finish all the tiles before then, but congratulations to him. But anyway, he undone or whatever, but I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, I mean, we are using race time for the first time for a Super Metroid tournament, and so some people just may not quite be used to it because there are buttons you can click and say it's just typing. So
yeah, gotta say, I never doubt anyone. We are going to verify. We'll have to verify that run, and make sure he completed it. So.
Well, and to be completely clear, we have several volunteers along with the group of us organizers that are going to be verifying every single run because it's not a matter of trust. Like, I mean, we definitely don't have a history in Super Metroid, thankfully, of cheating. But in bingo, as well as I do that you could think you finished a run and think you did everything correct, and it turns out you missed that one thing.
Oh, I've done it. I actually did it against you, literally. In the double ante bingo, I raced you. I thought I was done, and one of my tiles was supposed to be the Brinstar Reserve, and I thought I picked it up, and apparently I just forgot to grab it, and and luckily the tracker was like, I was like, all right, I'm done, and they're like, no, you're not finished. So now
I forgot a Brinstar missile once, and the only reason why I figured it out was because I was fortunately in bingo. You can watch restreams and all. You don't have to. You can be in the restream. You can watch whatever. And the tracker hadn't marked my 60 Brinstar missiles, and I'm like, what did I miss? And there were some comments about. Actually, in fact, it was Azder that commented that he had skipped that once in a hundo run. And I realized, oh wait, I didn't pick that up because I was so I was used to. If I missed the mock ball, I would just grab it, and then if I, in randomizer, I mean, if I didn't miss it, I wouldn't grab it because randomizer, you don't necessarily need that missile. But this wasn't randomizer; I had to go pick it up and just completely forgot it.
For sure. And as you mentioned, we don't have a history of cheating, but we do have a history of cheating. Cheaty-based.
That's right.
But anyway, we're gonna check all these and make sure that they're correct.
All right, as you're picking up some more supers. Like he's gonna go for power. He looks like he's also gonna go for the. I think he's also gonna go for the, spring ball. No grapple. Gosh, I'm looking at these tiles and it's so hard to see. He's. Oh wow, this will be the last square for him. Collect spring ball grapple. That'll give him. He doesn't have any rows or diagonals, but that'll give him. No, he's got column 3. But this will give him column 4 and top left, bottom right. Zeb also really close. I'm not sure. He may be going for, let's see. If he goes for the 8 energy tanks, he needs 2 more. And then finish in Spore Spawn's room. So he's really close as well.
I'm not familiar with all the setups for spring ball clip. I only have like kind of one that I do that I just basically if I either get it or I don't. I'm not sure. Like this is kind of awkward.
Yeah, I don't know that there's anybody's come up with a good setup for ice beam only because you have to shoot these things 4 times before they even freeze.
Ironically, I actually have, Tracy.
Oh, yeah?
Actually, yeah, but I don't really practice it. I posted in my Discord during Rando League.
Yeah, I remember seeing the discussion about that,
Yeah,
yeah.
you actually can do it without charge and just Ice Beam. There's a way to do it first try. However, it's really weird and it's not something you would normally be in a position to have to do.
Yeah.
So,
And unfortunately, Azder killed his Puyo buddy, so he's gonna try this again and reset the room. Yeah, I typically eyeball this, you know. I can usually get it pretty quickly, but it's not, you know, it's not a consistent setup or anything. Okay, that looks really good. But he apparently doesn't think that's the correct spot. Oh, that's really close. That's probably just a pixel off. And Azure without the X-ray scope can't use that to help him out. That's definitely not the position he needs.
Sitting around waiting on these to unfreeze is agonizing, especially when it's like the last thing that you have to do.
Oh, looks like Zeb's gonna go for statues here. Yeah, perhaps is he maybe going for the finish at landing site? Let's see, I'm trying to figure out what he might need. He's got column 4. Finish at landing site will give him column 5. Oh, and if he picks up the criteria power bomb, no, it's not. We would need to get 8th E-tank, so maybe he's gonna get both of those things.
Yeah, if he gets the gauntlet E-tank, I guess he'd have 8+ energy tanks. That'd be the first row. And if he finishes at landing site after that, he would have column 4 and column 5, right?
Yes. So we're still gonna be really close. Azure just has to wait through the Shack Tool cutscene.
I gotta give it to Azure here. I think Azure's gonna, but this is crazy close.
This is really close.
But yeah, I think Azure's got it. Yeah, he's definitely got it.
Yeah, this is gonna be he's gonna go with the tank, get the power bomb, and Zeb will be done fairly shortly as well. And Azure picks up that power bomb and finishes up with an official race time of 38 minutes 36 seconds. GG's to Azure, very well done.
Yeah, and we got a report. Literally 6 seconds after that, P-Toil finished in 2nd place with a time of 36:42, or excuse me, 38:42. Yep. I'm curious what his groupings were. Zeb then came in 3rd place with a time of 39:28. And why don't you tell the audience a little bit about why these qualifiers matter, or kind of what's going on with the tournament? Why are we even doing these qualifiers?
So these qualifiers are a little bit different. It's a little different than what you're used to because each card is different, so we can't really quite compare them in a normal way. So what we're going to do is, depending on the number of entrants, we'll do a par time based on the top several finishers, and then everybody else's time is going to be compared to that, and it's going to be translate into a score out of 100, which with a max amount of 105. And runners can do up to 4 quals. They can do the top 2 will count. If they do a 3rd and a 4th one, their bottom 2 will be dropped. And looks like we have Azure joining us, and hopefully Zeb will join us too. He's finished up with a 39:28 in 3rd place. So we got the 1st and 3rd place finishers on Restream. Azure, tell us about your run.
Oh my goodness. I think I found really good rows to do, and I think I routed really well. The one thing was, like, I forgot Wreck Ship Map Station.
Okay.
And
so
I had
that's why you went and get criteria instead.
Yeah, which didn't work out too well because I wanted to get Gauntlet E-Tank, but then that caused the map station to not route in well. And then the other thing is just, like, the only other real complaint I have is how long it took me to Ice Clip to Spring Ball. I was thinking of grabbing Spazer for it, but I had done it before without it, and I felt more confident, and it just didn't work out too well. I would have not gotten first if it taken me one more try. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was telling Tracy, I was surprised that, and I didn't know exactly what y'all were doing, but I was kind of surprised that nobody got the Wreck Ship Map Station just because it's right there. And I figured it would play in. And yeah, that last ice clip thing, we were talking about how agonizing it could be sometimes to have to wait for it because it's really uncomfortable with just ice beam. But yeah, you had a great route, great run, and it was really close. Zeb, welcome into you as well. GG. That was really fun to watch.
Yeah, GG, thanks.
So tell us about your choices.
Well, I kind of saw that you could. I saw the row 1 and column 5. I think those were the first things that I saw, and I was all like, okay, I want to avoid like pretty much all of Norfair. I want to avoid having to kill Dragon. So I was trying to figure out, I think, something to pair with that. I think that column 4 was like the only thing that looked okay to me. Like, it made me go to Spring Ball, which was a little bit annoying. Like, I was trying to find a way to avoid Spring Ball in addition to all of that.
Sure.
But like, Spring Ball wasn't too bad. With them already a power bomb, it kind of routed in anyway. It's still a bit of a time sink, but I was most annoyed actually during the race that I forgot Mama Turtle the first time through.
Oh,
so I had to go back.
Okay. Is that for the E-Tank?
Yeah, I was planning on getting that on my way through the first time, and I just like blanked on it and just ran right past it. So
yeah, it was pretty interesting, like the different philosophies that you two took in terms of your routing as you're having gone down and getting various suit and doing stuff in Upper Norfair. You went straight up and did the stuff and tried to avoid Norfair, like you said, as much as you can, just grabbing that ice beam. But yeah, it did make for a very interesting situation. I mean, but you end up doing a lot of the same stuff. Like, I guess column 4 was the one column that you both had in common.
It was a good column. I wanted to. I initially was going to do. I think. Like, I was going to do row 2 as one of them initially. So my first pick was column 3, and then later on I started realizing that the Brinstarge energy recharge stuck at like a sore thumb having to route the Decor Pit in with Speed Booster. So I dropped it, and I was doing row 2 and something else I forget. I honestly don't. I think I was doing row 1 as well. And then I just realized I don't actually want to finish at Spore Spawn. I don't want to route that back in. It's like the same problem. And then I figured I'd rather have an excuse to have Speed Booster earlier in the run. So it's like, for a good portion of like the first, 10 or 12 minutes, I was set on different rows, but then I was like, I really don't like this one row, and I'm trying to look at the card and see if I can switch it out for another row painlessly and not pick up a bad disadvantage compared to the row that I'm trying to drop.
Well, let me jump in real quick and just say, since the interview started, we got Al RTA finishing in 4th place, Beef Rober finished in 5th, we got Sentient Flatbread in 6th, Crocomeyer in 7th, Polar Bear Bunny in 8th, Ace Zero in 9th, Maniacal in 10th, Kishmo 11th, and Woody in 12th. Gentlemen, we had a little bit of a false alarm. Woody finished in 1st place. Time of 3 minutes and something, which was going to be a really crazy world record. And I was concerned. I was like, well, I figured one of the guys on our stream would win, but he.
I was looking forward to watching that back, but then he undone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was going to sign up to verify that one because that would have been an easy one.
Yeah, that would have been, okay, you got everything, let's go. But yeah, Zeb, you want to talk a little bit about your decision making? Like, at what point did you figure out what rows and columns you were doing, and did you at any point change your mind?
I actually didn't. I figured out what I wanted to do pretty early. I think it was like after Bomb 3, so I was like, okay, I'm pretty much set on this. And once I'm set, like, normally I just tunnel, because I've tried to, in my practice races, I've tried to, like, switch it out, and then sometimes, like, I'll be like, oh, this row is better or whatever, and I'll switch it out, but then I'll still do the same requirements that I had to do in the old row that I don't need to do anymore, and I'm like, just because, like, it is too much thinking, so I just, like, figure out what I want to do and tunnel on that. I was a little bit worried. Going Wreck Ship first is always a little bit scary. I don't really run new route too much, so, like, getting across the boat wasn't too bad. I was really scared in Fantoon. That was not a good situation. I think I was at like 37 health.
You were,
which is like
30
the
something.
Worst. Like, because you're not beeping, but you're
not health bomb, and you're not but you're in one hit KO.
Yeah. So I was really scared during that, but managed to pull through. Yeah, I felt like my route was really good. I think my ammo management was a little bit bad near the end. I could have definitely managed my ammo a bit better and saved a little more time. But yeah, overall, I feel pretty good about this.
Good. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I forget what the number of I think this is going to be the max part-time numbers. You guys will both be within that top. So it should be getting pretty good scores out of this one. So both of you going to do the max 4 qualifiers, you think?
I'll probably do 4, yeah. I think. Unless like my first 2 are really good, then I might like just manage to be like, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it taking top 2? If so, I see no reason not to.
Yeah, it's just top 2 that it takes.
Yeah. Okay. So anything else either one of you want to add before we close this out?
I forgot how insanely stressful any form of bingo is compared to like randomizer.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of practice bingo for this, and I'm still like, I feel so completely unprepared. It's like, oh my god, this is so hard. But yeah, just GG again, azder, and GG to I guess all the other runners. And thanks for the comms and whatnot.
All right, thank you for both of you for agreeing to be on Restream. We're used to seeing you two duke it out in randomizer, and you've had some really good races there. So it's good to see in another format, see the two of you go at it and have another really good race.
Yeah, GG boys, that was fun.
Yeah, thanks for casting it. Hope that we get some other good races in the qualifiers, and then we'll have the tournament. It'll be fun.
All right, so I think that'll pretty much do it for us. We do have, we have 15 finishers out of 1, 2, 3. We have 21 total racers, I think we have. So really cool. A really good turnout. So next race will be tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern. If you're interested in joining, anyone can participate in qualifiers. So even if you don't feel like you can make it, if you just feel like you want to have a little bit of fun, play a little bingo with Super Metroid, we're happy to have you, and you can race in these. There are 5 more qualifiers total of 2 next weekend as well. Those will be Saturday and Sunday at 1 o'clock. And then the last 2 will be a week later. I believe those are Friday at 8 o'clock and p.m. Eastern and Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. So hopefully we'll get a lot of people joining in on this tournament.
Tracy, I feel compelled to report this. I feel bad, but I feel like I got to. Earlier, I told y'all that Woody finished in 12th place. He undone again.
Oh no!
But I think this time he's got the right.
Yeah, I bet he miscounted something. As we already talked about that. Yeah, that is a thing that can happen. So
yeah, the card gets the best of many of us.
Yep, absolutely.
So. Well, thanks for casting with me, Tracy. That was fun. I'm looking forward to watching this tournament. I love some good bingo action. It'll be good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it. I'm glad we decided to go with this format. I'm glad we decided to try the triple bingo thing this time. This is, like we said, we've done dab like 3 times. Triple bingo is new, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think we're going to see, some familiar faces be competitive, but I think we're going to see some people that, maybe are not like the tip top of the leaderboard and the pure speed running still do really well. The way people think about these bingo cards is a real big strength. And so I think we're going to see some fresh people be competitive in this tournament. It'll be a lot of fun.
All right, that'll do it for us. Hopefully we'll see you all back here at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah, that'll do it. Thanks again to Zeb and azder for being on Restream and putting on a really good show. Thanks to all of our runners who came out to race this. There's still several people still going, so you can look them up. And Kip for joining me, and of course can't shout out Linkforce enough for doing the tracking. Because, oh my God, trying to track... I've tracked these. These are hard to track, so definitely Linkforce the best in the business when it comes to tracking bingo. Definitely shout-outs to her and did a great job today, as always. But yeah, we'll see you at the next one.
Good night, everybody. Enjoy your weekend.